Girl, you're the love of my life, and I ain't excited tonight to give you.
Welcome back to Breakfast in Bed. Like we said, today we'll be talking about transforming challenges to opportunities as a Nigerian youth. Nigerian youths are faced with so many challenges and they get tougher by the day. Looking at the economic situation, dealing with life, dealing with pressures,
The environment.
So all these could come up as challenges. But now, how do you navigate and find opportunities to make yourself better? That's what we're diving into today on the show. And we have a guest in the house, is Aji Kwame Ahmed. Welcome to Breakfast in Bed.
Thank you.
Welcome, sir.
Thank you.
so
So
much.
glad to have you.
I'm so happy to be here this morning. Thank you.
So now let's get straight into transforming challenges to opportunities. First of all, will you agree that Nigerian youths face a whole lot of challenges?
Of course. The Nigerian youths are very resilient. They are very, very hardworking. For me, the Nigerian youths are some of the most amazing youths in the whole world. I can give you that. Some of the most amazing. And every Nigerian youth is very hardworking. And, you know, I think with the right environment and, you know, provision of right resources for the Nigerian youth, no young person in the world can compete with the Nigerian youth. If you give the Nigerian youth the right tools and environment to work, I don't know. I don't see any country competing with Nigeria.
Wow.
That's like gassing. That's like gassing up Nigerians. Like I'm feeling gassed up already.
Like it's hyping us.
So how do we put our minds right to scale through these obstacles?
Okay, now it's a collective thing. Now I tell you this for free. The Nigerian government itself needs to now sit back and ask themselves, what makes a country great? One of the most pivotal part of making a country great is to invest in its youth. Now create an enabling environment where every youth can go out there and pursue their God-given talents, their whatever it is that they want to become. Let them go out there and be able to, you know, pursue those things. Part of the things that they can do is to create policies that help youth to navigate around these hard systems that we are talking about. Yeah, the challenges are numerous, but how do you move from these challenges to becoming a country where the young people become great? First, like I said, create an enabling environment, begin to put in place policies that can help young people, you know. For instance, the bank. When you go to the bank as a young person and you have brilliant ideas, do they even talk to you in this country? That's number one. Number two is, you see, every young person in Nigeria does not even ask for much. If you look at the way we are created, Nigerians don't ask for much. Just give them that opportunity to be able to express themselves, and you'll be surprised how much a young Nigerian can do.
Okay. And when do you think is the best time to start identifying opportunities?
Yesterday was the best time to start.
Oh, so now when I mean identifying opportunities the best time, you know, we give birth to children.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3.
Yeah.
What age is the best time to say, you know what are the opportunities you can identify?
As soon as that baby, from the minute that baby starts saying, "Mommy, water," as soon as that baby starts saying food, because I remember I was watching a video by Jay-Z some time ago, and he said at the age of 3, the mom already knew he was going to be a great musician. I'm like, oh. He said,
You saw the potential.
yeah, that what the woman, whenever they are in the kitchen, he was always drumming. And don't forget, Jay-Z is one of those artists out there that can play almost all the musical instruments.
Yes.
So they noticed that, and you know, after a while, they changed the room, his playroom, to a music room where he has almost all the musical instruments to himself. So look at, Jay-Z is the richest rapper on earth right now. It means if we can catch them young, groom them, nurture them from a very tender age, You know what that means already?
Sorry, I'm going to come to you. But now I'm not looking at it. I want us to come down to Nigeria.
Yeah.
And looking at our economic factor.
Yeah.
I know my child can sing. I know my child will be the greatest musician ever.
Okay.
But I can't afford to buy all these things.
Yeah.
So how do I help in building
Yeah.
this opportunity
Okay.
with my 30,000 naira salary? as a
Thank you.
parent?
Now, recently, I come from Morile Gomo, and I'm very proud to say that that community has given so much to me. So recently, I've been doing a lot of programs in that neighborhood, but the recent one we did was Cook for Peace Festival. Now, while that event was going on, one of the things that I told them is that we can begin to have community centers where these things will be readily available by the government, but you bring stakeholders, opinion leaders in the community so they can own part of it too, so they protect it. They know it is for them and they can now protect it. So we can have all of those things in those communities on weekends when the kids are not going to school. Kids can converge there and do this thing. Don't forget, there is something that I had growing up that is going off, people are not talking about anymore. People don't socialize anymore properly. Everybody's on their phone. Nobody talks to anybody. Back then, there was a time for young people to come together and talk. I could leave my street and go to 2 streets away and, I have discussions with my friends. They give me information and it was cool. So that place is going to provide an avenue for young people to actually discuss stuffs, not this social media thing anymore, but discuss stuffs, 1. 2, it also gives room for kids to sample their own ideas. You might think your child is a good footballer, and he gets to the field where he has other kids, and you realize that probably I'm a better basketballer. Yeah. And that's something you might not discover. But among his peers, he's able to, express himself better. Sometimes when you're with your parents, there is this pressure of, I want you to be a doctor, that is what you should become.
Professional.
And meanwhile, that child wants to become a photographer. Yeah. Do you understand? So while we are with our parents, we express ourselves better. So if you ask me, government has got their own roles to play, and with the people too. When government provides these facilities and these infrastructures, how do we take care of them? What do we do with it? Most of the time, you see people doing stuff that will destroy infrastructures that have been put in place by government for the people. So who loses at the end of the day? The people. Because the governor will not come to my area, really to come and use our gym. He will not come there to come and maintain it for us. So it's still, I still say, the Nigeria of our dream is very possible and attainable. But we all have roles to play. You have roles to play, I have roles to play. And these roles that I'm talking about, we have to play them collectively and effectively.
Great.
Okay, that's very well said, sir. But I think this also boils down to the older generation having to relearn and unlearn some things. Okay. Like you said, your parents will say, I want you to be a doctor, I want you to be a lawyer. They don't know that the world is evolving. Yeah. Life is way more than being a lawyer, being a doctor. People are making so much money off being a basketballer, a footballer, an artist even. So I think it's also our parents should also be ready to relearn that, okay, this world, I think this is where this world is going, this is where this world is going. Okay, thank you, sir. I also want to ask that now that this is our generation, we know that, okay, after school, there's probably no work or something. So most times they are venturing into businesses. They are now entrepreneurs, perfume vendors, they're all over social media. So how can the government and private sectors come together and collaborate and make resources available for these entrepreneurs? Okay,
now, first thing first, there's a question we always fail to ask ourselves. For you to help anything strive, the first thing is to invest in that thing. Whatever you put your attention to strives. If you, for instance, you plant, you have a plant, maybe a cactus plant or something, or aloe vera. The more you give that thing your attention, you see it grow, you groom it and all of that. See, I tell people Nigeria has about 60% of its population being youth. What does that mean? It means that Nigeria is sitting on a huge ton of gold. Now, if you invest the right amount of energy, resources, and all of that in the youth, what it translates to is that you are not just securing the present, you are also securing the future, because the kind of people we churn out into the society it will translate to the society you see. So now, government needs to begin to look at how they can begin to engage people who are stakeholders, who are opinion leaders, who have, that capacity to help the youth. And, if a particular company actually invests in youth-oriented programs, government should have a way to, I don't know, kind of reward them and all of that, to encourage more
companies
to come on board. And you can never get it wrong with investing in young people. Why am I saying this? Every young person out there, especially Nigerian youth, I'm still saying it again, shout out to every Nigerian youth out there that is, hitting it hard when there's no resources available to them and all of that. I am saying if we invest right in the Nigerian youth, no youth population in the world has what the Nigerian youth has. No, not at all.
So you're saying I'm investing. What do you mean by that?
When I say invest, number one is tech.
Okay.
Has taken over the world.
Tech.
AI is a big thing, and all of that. How much have we invested? How much how much facilities are there for young people to, use? A workspace on the island, they tell you just for a day, you go and bring 30,000. How many youths can afford 30,000 to have just a workspace, internet, and all of that? We can actually have those centers. About 4 years ago, there was something we did in Orile, OIP, shout out to Wade Medala and all of them. It was like a computer center where young people can just walk in, do their stuff, and leave. You see that? There was laptops readily available. Yeah, they had partnerships and all of that. And these guys come in and they put all this together. But it was wonderful. I had a program in that particular center called Digitalize the Ghetto. And that program went on to, give birth to some amazing people you see today that you don't even know that was the program they came from. So now imagine we can have that all over all the local government areas, the LCDAs, just a center where you have computer, you have internet service, and the place is very comfortable. You can just walk in, do your thing and leave without anybody harassing you. So how powerful that is going to be.
Yes.
What about creation of vocational centers in every local government? But not just creating it, making it look attractive, making the information out there, readily out there. Another thing we can do is this. How many times do we engage our youths? Now we talk about youth engagement. People just talk and talk and talk. Engage, like have a program where you have counselors that can sit one-on-one with people and be like, sir, I feel like I want to have a dry cleaning service, but my parents are saying no to these things. How do I go about it? Do you understand? Somebody talks to you, okay, there is a way around it. At a point, I go to some parents to tell them, okay, I want this child to go to school. You are saying he helps you to hawk. Okay, I'll give you money to release that child for me to go to school. I was doing it.
Okay, I like this. We've been talking about community centers and young people relating with their peers, and maybe they tend to find opportunities.
Yeah.
So I'm working on a special report on drug abuse. So I went into the deep sides of Lagos, and I spoke with some very young Nigerian youths. And if we say they should come together, many of them said, well, when they came together as friends, that was when they started taking drugs. And so it seems like finding opportunities now might eventually become a bigger challenge. So how should
you walk around
manage this situation?
Okay, it starts from the community. I tell you, for you to build a great country, first you need to build the communities, from the home fronts to the community to the society, strong institutions and all of that. But this is how it starts, from the community level. How much how much time are we putting into molding people? Like, how much resources, how much time are we putting into molding the future leaders? Now, in a society where there is no crime, there's no law. Then if you have laws, then all of these things work hand in hand. So people in the community themselves need to start the work from there. Imagine a community where you do something wrong and everybody is like, this is wrong, this is wrong, and this is wrong. Already you know there's no way you're going to with that bad habit because nobody is trying to associate with you because of that bad habit. So you'll be like, I have to drop this thing off. I'm not going anywhere with this. So when you gather these boys, first is, how do you interact with them? What kind of interaction are you having with them? See, when you bring something that is valuable to their table, sometimes, they shout and all of that, but they also think, they ask questions. During our Kufo Peace Festival, they came out in their numbers and they spoke. They said if they have things that can, take their attention, something that, can give them their own daily bread too, something lucrative, that most of them will even leave the streets, that everybody just want to make something for themselves. So first, we are not engaging these young people properly, the right way. When you engage people, I call something the SSEE. First, you sanitize, talk to them. This is not the right way to do things and all of that. Then you sensitize, then you engage. After engagement, you empower.
Okay. Sorry, let me cut you short there. There's something in the middle, and let me put it this way. I call it favorism flame, really, really burning. Okay. Because there are so many people with potentials after scaling through so many opportunities and all, and they get to that final stage, and it's more like in exchange of what they want, they will tell them, oh, go and bring, and they can't afford it because that's really, really a pandemic now. There are people with so many potentials, and the fact that they can't afford
what they have been asked.
Yes, they just go back to say, oh, at the end of the day, so what's now the use?
It's so unfortunate that we are dealing with that. I'm also, as a young and passionate youth, social and community development advocate, I'm dealing with that presently. Now, a lot of times, you get to places where you feel like you've worked for this. This should be mine. I've worked for this. And they just tell you, Tani Godfather.
Can you imagine?
Tan bye-bye. So we need to get to the point where the son of a nobody can become somebody by doing his diligent work. But this is it. This is still what I tell. See, you cannot be used if you are not useful. It is how much value you bring to the table.
Rich.
What?
The amount of value you bring to the table sometimes makes them to say, we don't like that boy, but go and bring him.
Oh yeah, I know that.
Yes.
Yeah.
We don't like him, but go and bring him. He does what he does very well. Bring him to the table. So now, a lot of young people do not even understand the word value proposition. How valuable are you? How good are you at what you do? When they call you 1 a.m., can you deliver? Now, I tell people the new heavy currency is social currency. If you don't start to build quality relationship now, at this point, build quality relationship, keep quality relationship, invest in your relationship, surround yourself with people who are on the same mission as you. Surround yourself with people who have the same ideology, who has similar ideology as you, because in the next few years, people our age will become governors, will become commissioners. So who are the people you are keeping in your cycle?
Yeah, but we need to go, but just to round this off now. You said you should have good people in your community, people in your side. Now, many people seem to have role models, but I've been looking at people with role models and I see role models destroying the lives of their mentees. How well and how important is it to have role models? We're going to do this quickly. How important is it to have role models, and how can you identify good role models?
Okay, first, who is even a good role model? You understand? You must have, look at the person's antecedents. What are the things that the person has been doing, and what are the things that this person discussed with you, and how cautious is this person about the content of their character. You know, some people don't even understand what the content of your character is. It's very important. When somebody calls your name, what comes to mind? Do you understand? So you have to look at the person you want to emulate or look at. One thing I want all of us to understand is that nobody's perfect. They will have their own flaws. But at the same time, you need to make sure that they are at least 75 to 80% of the right character for you before you can.
Before we can shoot with them. Okay, I like that. We'll have you some other time to come over and talk, because we still have so much to talk about.
Pleasure to be here.
Thank you very much.
Thank you
We've been talking about transforming challenges to opportunities, and our guest, Ajay Kwame Ahmed.
yeah.
Thank you very much for coming
God
to
bless
Breakfast
you.
in Bed. It's been an amazing discussion.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so
I
much.
appreciate you guys.
Guys, we need to go. Koyi, thank you for coming. I'm seeing you again next week.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
Yeah, obviously. we will. Yeah.
Dayo.
So we have to go now. I am Adedayo Kende. See you next weekend.
Okay, I am Bababumi Agbibi. Do enjoy your weekend. Stay safe and be good.
Start the morning fantastic. Seed you with flam, put it on your tongue, then flip it up like gymnastics. Anything you want, you can have it. Sausage, yalla,